What's going on, guys? JPP2 here. Hope you guys are enjoying your Tuesday. And for today's matchup, we have an Adventurous Pranks versus an Eldlich with me as the prankster going first. Now, I uploaded a decklist video yesterday. You guys can use it. That's the decklist I'm using in my matches in ranked, and it has the secret sauce to kill this meta completely, the Despia heavy meta. Also, any dark monsters. I'm pretty sure you guys guessed the card by now, but anyways, you guys can use it. Also, going towards the next season after the ban list towards the end of the month, with Enchantress being at 1, it would not affect my gameplay in any way whatsoever because I do run the Nemesis engine to recycle those Enchantresses at being at 1 and consistently keep going into my combo. So there you have it. And for today's game, again, I told you guys we are playing against an Eldritch player, but me doing my combo, I had no idea I was playing against an Eldritch player. Usually, when you are doing your combo and your opponent does not hand trap you whatsoever, so no Ash, no Maxi, no Imperm, no Nib, no Gamma, nothing, it usually means that they're playing a back row set. When I say usually, I mean 60 to 70% of the time they would be playing back row Eldlich. So nowadays, with the branded Eldlich blue heavy meta, if you ever see your opponent not hand trapping you, and you have two Prank Kids cards in your hand, different named Prank Kids cards in your hand, you might want to consider doing a 2-card full combo into your roster. Now, I'm not telling you guys always do this, no. Do it at your own discretion. Because if you do a 2-card full combo with roster on the field, first of all, you're locked into Prank Kids only during the combo. Also, if you do not start with pranks or a named monster to go into your butler in your hand aside from the one you used to go into your combo, you will not be able to get the pranks back with the Baobab tribute. That means you will not be able to recycle at the end of your turn and you will be committing a lot of resources towards that play. So bear in mind, there are pros and cons to doing that and do it at your own discretion. So let's keep going on with the game for today. We end our turn, activate pranks, recycle 3 cards, pretty normal stuff for us, draw into our Prank's place. Now, before the gameplay goes forward, I would like to give you guys a tip. Now, the tip is that if you guys ever start with a Thunder Dragon Fusion in your hand, what you can do with the Adventure Engine is that you could throw away the Thunder Dragon Fusion in your graveyard. Now, that will take away your play. If your opponent nibs you after negating your Griffin to wipe out your whole field, it's gonna void the whole putting Butler on the field play. But what this does is that if you throw the Thunder Dragon Fusion into the graveyard for your next turn, you could activate it, banish it, and get a copy of the Corridor in your hand, essentially recycling your Meowmoo on that turn itself. So dumping the Thunder Dragon Fusion into the graveyard might be a good play if you guys actually do want to use it. But again, use it at your own discretion. I'm just giving you guys tips and tricks that what you guys can do, and if you guys want to use those tips and tricks. So we get our Baobab activation on our opponent's draw phase. We get the card for the Butler combo into our hand. This guy plays Eldlich, sets down 5, trying to end his turn. So we activate Pandemonium and go into our Weather Washer. Yes, Weather Washer and not your Butler. I have been extremely vocal about this on all of my videos. If you guys do face against a back row set player, always go into Weather Washer. Do not ever go into Butler. First of all, that Eldritch monster coming on the field, if he goes through the standard way of putting it on the field, it's going to be immune to destruction through card effects anyway, so Butler is useless right there. And on your turn, you guys can't even use the Meowmoo's effect. Butler pop means the Butler gets tributed itself. So again, that's a really bad way to go into a back row set matchup. You want to go into Weather Washer. Weather Washer states that if you attack with Prank Kids monsters on your turn, your opponent cannot activate their back row sets during battle phase only. So usually Eldritch players, they want to activate Scarlet Sanguine during battle phase, and if they don't know what Weather Washers does, they will be not able to activate any back row set, and you could potentially go in for a lethal. Also, you want to use the green and red cards, namely your Fansies and Lamsies, to go into your Weather Washer, not your Dropsies, because those two cards from the graveyard activation will be able to put Dropsies on the field, so it could still go into Totally Awesome on your turn. Now, the biggest reason why you put Weather Washer on the field over Butler is to play around major floodgates like Gozen Match and Warlord's Rivalry. So Rivalry of Warlord and Gozen Match are the two floodgates that kill off Prank Kid's deck. You could still play under There Can Be Only One or Skill Drain as a Prank Kids player, but Gozen and Rivalry, they outright kill you. Gozen states that you could only control one type of attribute on the field, and Rivalry states that you could only control one type of monster that has one single type on the field. So the attribute for the Weather Washer is water, the type is aqua. Same goes for Dropsies. It's water attribute aqua type. Same applies for the Roaster, water attribute aqua type. So you guys can still put the copy of Dropsies from your hand onto the field and still go into your Roaster to pop your opponent's back row completely on your turn if you do it this way. So you could still play around those major floodgates that essentially kill Prank Kids. So with this, we end our turn. Now sadly, I was not able to activate Weather Washer. If I want to put 2 copies of Dropsies on the field, this Weather Washer was not activatable because we did not have enough space on the field to put 2 more cards on the field from the graveyard. So that means we do not get the banish on Meowmoo. Meowmoo still stays in the graveyard. So even if we draw into our Nemesis engine, we will not be able to recycle Meowmoo at least this turn. So with that, the opponent's turn is gone. Draw phase, we draw into our flag. Now, what I could have done is that I could have used these 2 Dropsies and went into my Totally Awesome. But you guys, take a minute here, think about this. If you do go into your Totally Awesome at this point, the opponent could be running a Solemn Judgment. He could completely negate the summon of Totally Awesome itself. That means you're wasting your 2 Dropsies on the field, which you can use to go into your Roaster. So I still have the Dropsies, I still have my normal summon. I could normal out a monster, go into Roaster, pop the opponent's back row completely. Now to do that, you first have to bait out your opponent's back row or any card, counter trap or anything that they are using to kill off the summon or kill up the effect like Solemn Strike or something like that. So first of all, I activate the Dracobax effect to feel out if my opponent has any back row set that might negate the effect. So the card I pick at random turns out to be Gozen Match. So he flips over the Gozen Match on the activation of Dracoback. Obviously, we use the Griffin Omni to negate the Gozen Match from activating itself, to which my opponent responds with a Skill Drain. Skill Drain means that Gozen Match goes through, Griffin does not negate anything, and I will be forced to keep only one attribute on the field. The attribute I selected turned out to be water because again, Roaster being water, we could still go into it, pop the opponent's back row. So right here, I commit my normal summon to the play. I was really hoping for this guy to not have Solemn Judgment or Strike at this point. That's the only way I could have won the game. Granted, we would still have the Thunder Dragon Fusion to go into our Butler, but I would rather save it. So we go off into our Roaster. Roaster comes in the field, nothing. I activate my Graveyard activation. The summon does not get negated. Once the game prompts you, if you want to activate the Graveyard activation, when you summon the Roaster, that means the opponent does not have Solemn Strike. He is not negating the summon itself, so no Solemn Strike right there. So Chainlink 1, the Graveyard activation, Chainlink 2, the Roaster, sending it to the graveyard. My opponent activates the Ice Dragon's Prison to try to yoink the Roaster so that he could even use the Roaster to pop my back row. But you cannot get the Roaster with the Ice Dragon's Prison, so he targets my Weather Washer, to which I Chainlink my Maxi. Again, against an Eldlich player, Maxi is pretty useless. They don't push past 1 or 2 specials, so activating Maxi right here gives me at least 1 card, I thought. but turns out that if I held my Maxi, I would have gotten 2 cards, not 1. He activates the Scarlet Sanguine set in the back row as well, and it resolves. Scarlet puts an Eldlich on the field. The Ice Dragon will yoink a copy of our Weather Washer from our graveyard, putting it on his side, but it's not gonna matter. It's not gonna do it. Again, why? Because the Gozem match was active. Once this is big misplay on the opponent's part, because once the Gozem match is active, it says you can only control one attribute of monster. The Eldlich is a light, and the Weather Washer, as I told you guys before, is water. So Ice Dragon's Prison fizzles out completely. Roaster Pop goes through, we get full pop on back row. Now the special summon goes through as well. I activate plays, search for Roxy's. I'm going to activate my Pranks, discard Fansies, get a token. Now from here on, I don't know if you guys see the play, but I have more than enough to lethal my opponent this turn itself. I could go into access code plus Colossus plus Butler on this turn itself. So I activate the flag, recycle the Enchantress. Mind you, I have Enchantress only at 1 right now. I'm playing deck as if the ban list has already hit, so Enchantress is at 1 currently in my deck list. Activate the flag, recycle the Enchantress. The flag will search for our corridor. We activate our Fateful Adventure, get our Enchantress. Now from here on out, the combo would have been you throw away the Enchantress to the grave, activate Enchantress from the grave, banish, search for right, put a token, activate the corridor, recycle the Enchantress again, put it on the field, go into your Colossus, and then you go into your Nightmare plus access code, plus at the end use Thunder Dragon Fusion to go into your Butler, and then activate Place to boost up all your monsters' attack after bouncing the Golden Lord from the field with the Unicorn. That would have been the play I was going to make, but I did BM my opponent. I sent the Roxy's to the graveyard over the Enchantress, but seeing this, my opponent just scoops. He knows he's going to lose the game, so he scoops right here. That's going to be it for today's game, guys. If you guys do enjoy this kind of videos, please consider hitting the like button, subbing to my channel for more daily prank video uploads, and if you guys are interested in the live version of all of this, I do live stream on Twitch, twitch.tv/jpbduel. Link along with my schedule and a link to my Discord will be in the video description itself for you guys to check out. This is JPBduel signing off for today. I'll be seeing you all in the next video. Peace!